Snobbish. Good day now. It seems at least one person in Little Riddle understands the mental strain your calling can impose. You offer your thanks and depart. With all the suspects interviewed, have you learned what you need? Before you retire to your room, I want to see if you've been paying attention. Let's see if you can answer these questions. Either you are the reincarnation of Sherlock Holmes, or these questions are too easy. Wonderful work, either way you look at it. Weary of both my questions and the case as a whole, you decide to return to the hotel and get some rest. It has been an exhausting day. You return to your hotel room, and after a light meal, you retire early to bed. Though you are weary beyond words, your mind will not let you rest. Haunting images of the unavenged dead and snatches of conversations whirl and eddy in the confused currents of your consciousness.
The miller was really a snobbish.
Oh, and that's little Charlie.
A snobbish kid, too. Last of the line.
You remember the pills the doctor gave you. Taking them, you lie down once again. This time, sleep takes you. It is not a peaceful rest, however. Your detective instincts believe that your subconscious is trying to tell you something. Tally ho! Oh! What? Oh! What? Oh! What? And your result is splendid. You're finished. That was quick. Ooh, ooh! No mistakes made. Show off. Olympian intelligence deserves an Olympian reward. You wake suddenly, the gift of revelation slipping from your grasp as a fog descends. You feel detached, removed, distant from reality. Sheer effort of will pushes past your morning malaise, and you remember the dream.
Wonder how much this would be worth to her to keep me quiet.
Their son. Well, her son.
I wonders if he was anything to do with all them other murders.
Would you like a biscuit, dearie?
Adrenaline surges, your intellect awakens, the last piece drops into place, revealing the truth where once there was only a fractured image. To the police station! Bursting into the police station, a little disheveled after your disturbed night, you are nonetheless determined to pass on the benefit of your nocturnal deductions. Go on then, convince me. Again. Of the four suspects, Mrs. Gossip was clearly the least likely. Could someone so frail move the block that killed the Colonel? Or is Mrs. Gossip's mental frailty just an act? The old dear mentioned the doctor when caught at the scene of the crime. Was he even there? If he was, what motive had he for the murder? Is it likely he was on Bert the Blag's blackmail list? Lady Snobbish certainly had motive. After all, Bert the Blag was after her money, perhaps even blackmailing her. Can she be linked to the crime scene and to the method of dispatch? Moses was freed from his cell thanks to the vicar and a crumbling town jail. Was this in time to murder the Colonel? 4 suspects and a wealth of evidence that points to but one of them. Can you deduce the culprit and prove yourself worthy of your role as a blue-toed detective? Player 1, you get to choose first. Select your villain by pressing the corresponding button on the controller. In the end, the final piece of this puzzle came in a dream. Together with all the other evidence, it confirms the guilt of the Doctor! The murder took place at 10 o'clock. Moses did not escape until 5 minutes past the fatal hour. Mrs. Gossip and Lady Snobbish can be dismissed by the frailty of both. Mrs. Gossip through simple age, and Lady Snobbish because of her injured wrist. Neither could have moved the block of stone. Only the Doctor had no strong alibi.
I'm sorry, but just having no alibi ain't good enough. What was his motive?
You tell the inspector everything you have found out about the Doctor's true ancestry, and the fact that the Colonel had uncovered the same information.
Hold on. Let me get this right. You're saying that he's a snobbish and he killed Bert the Blag because Bert found out and tried to blackmail him?
You tell him yes, that is the case, and that Bert the Blag had also worked out that the Doctor was tied in with the other murders and wrongdoings in Little Riddle. The inspector seems less than sure, however.
This is all a bit slight, I have to say. However, you've been right in the past. Let's bring the Doctor in and ask him a few questions. See how he reacts. Constable should be here in a minute. Well, what's up with you?
You have indeed gone a whiter shade of pale as you abruptly recall the Doctor's last words to you yesterday.
Not in the morning, though. I have an appointment with Lady Snobbish.
He clearly intends to claim his snobbish legacy by any means possible. Convincing the Inspector of the Lady's Peril, you rush to the manor. There isn't a moment to lose. You used your talents to select the correct suspect. Many congratulations on a job well done. You burst into the manor.
Your ladyship!
Great heavens! Inspector, explain yourself. This instant.
Sorry, Mum. We heard you scream.
I appear to have cold equipment this morning. My stethoscope, you see. Just what do you think you're doing, Inspector?
Nothing, Mum. Sorry, Mum. I'll just be going. It won't happen again. I can assure you of that.
Inspector, I got your message. What?
Constable, I believe we have a spare cell at the moment. It will be occupied for the rest of today by this. I'm not in the habit of being made a fool of. You'll get out of my sight, sharpish!
Well, that didn't go entirely according to plan, did it? Even as you languish in a police cell, the perpetrator of the foul deeds that have rocked Little Riddle to its very foundations walks abroad. What mischief, what mayhem, what fiendish felonies can he commit before you are freed? Will justice be done and the Blue Toad Agency file on Little Riddle closed? Or will evil prevail while you rot in prison? Find out when you return in The Riddles of the Past. So, how well did you do in that episode? Player 1. Fantastic